Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be discussing Neptune in the second house. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Neptune in the second house people find that income keeps coming in for them, but frequently it's a kind of fairy money, which evaporates like the morning dew, owing to a multitude of petty obligations. Too often the budget is like a leaky vessel, which no amount of bailing can salvage. The financial situation of these people is never quite what it seems. It is important for them to avoid risky or speculative enterprises and confine their investments to the most reliable and conservative concerns available. In many instances, these people are susceptible to financial loss through fraud, deception, and unrealistic hopes. On the positive side of things, people with Neptune in the second house can be generous to the point of sacrifice. People with Neptune in the second house find that their earnings fluctuate with the times, so that they seem to be in a constant state of instability. Very often they feel that they get less for their efforts than others do, or so they think. The truth of the situation is often that they are unrealistic about their earning ability and tend to be undisciplined in their spending of money. People with Neptune in the second house feel that their efforts don't produce the results that they want. They tend to overestimate their abilities, but it is important that they don't criticize themselves too severely about this when their earnings decrease. Very likely the fault may be in the general economy and not in their own abilities. Second house Neptune people are apprehensive about their future security, and they tend to borrow now and then to tide them over until conditions improve. However, this is a mistake to do so unless they are absolutely sure that their low economic situation is only temporary. People with Neptune in the second house need to learn that security must come from their own efforts. This is the only way to avoid asking their friends for help, which sometimes causes their friendships to erode. It's important for them to learn how to make careful plans or have someone help them plan and then stick with that plan. If the Neptune in the second house person pays close attention to reality, they can rise to considerable prominence in this life. Although they may feel that they are not being paid as well as they deserve in their careers, but the best way to correct this is by doing the very best job that they can. It's important for them to get an education, but that will enable them to demand as much of their efforts as the market will tolerate. If they don't know exactly what kind of training that they need, it's a good idea to consult a vocational counselor to determine what field their skills are best fitted for. It is important for them to avoid comparing their accomplishments and earnings with other people's. A better way to approach this is to instead compare the talent and energy that they put forth, and to remember that it isn't smart for them to lend money, because their chances of recovering it are not great. If the second house Neptune person feels that they really must invest, then they should seek the services of an advisor, and it is never a good idea to form an alliance without getting legal advice to make sure that their interests are protected. It's also important for them to investigate what motivates their associates in their dealings with them. Also, it is important for these people not to assume that their mates want more than they can give. It's a good idea for the Neptune in the second house person to stay informed about current business trends and to get whatever training is necessary to fill the demand. If they work to diversify their skills, they will always have a job and nothing will be left to chance. If these people truly believe in themselves, they can achieve almost anything. It's a good idea for the Neptune in the second house person to capitalize on their creative imaginations, but to also be realistic about their abilities, or they will suffer disappointments. Satisfying the needs of the people that they love will give them enough of a reason to achieve. Neptune in the second house people must be willing to pursue their objectives alone if they want to be free from obligations to others, and they must make a plan for their own future. These people have enormous creative resources that they can effectively harness for their benefit. It's important for them to not listen to others who say that they can't do this or that. These people should conserve their tangible assets and establish a retirement program that they can stick to without difficulty. When negatively expressed, the Neptune in the second house person will tend to compare themselves and their accomplishments with other people, which is a huge mistake for them. There is a great deal that they can do to prove that they have skills and talents. It's a matter of finding how they can help fulfill other people's needs. They are gifted with some psychic ability, which could be advantageous in professions such as medicine, research working with animals, or psychology. Psychic investigation could give them the opportunity to demonstrate their skills in this area. It's important for them to avoid lending money unless it is absolutely necessary, because their future security may be threatened by such practices. It's important for them to truly believe in themselves and to trust that they will succeed when they learn self-discipline. Serving the people that they love may stimulate them to achieve what they might not do for themselves. People with Neptune in the second house seem uncertain about their career. It is almost as though they aren't sure of themselves or their abilities. They may feel that they are not adequately rewarded for their efforts, or that they are often overlooked when a promotion is in order. These people tend towards being pessimistic in this area of life, and they seem to have difficulty in holding on to their assets. However, it is a waste of time for them to assume anything about other people's finances and savings, as they don't get a clear picture of it. The issue here is whether they can evaluate their own assets and resources fairly. Their earnings tend to reflect their current economic picture, so it is essential to save regularly as a cushion against adverse conditions. It's a good idea for these people to use their wonderful imaginations to seek a career that will give them the greatest yields. They cannot afford to do anything less than their very best in their chosen fields. It's important for them that they don't accept a low profile in their job. If they do, they will find themselves permanently assigned to it. Staying informed about business trends and also to retrain themselves periodically, if necessary, is a good idea for them to stay employed. Instead of feeling sorry for themselves, it's a good idea to use that energy to develop more diversified skills. People with Neptune in the second house can easily identify with others' needs if they parallel their own. These people may want to consider a career that serves broad social needs because their natural sympathetic natures could be highly effective in that area. By observing others' insecurities in this kind of endeavor, they can increase their own feeling of security. Also, they would get much contentment from doing something worthwhile while earning a good living. It's important for them to learn to stand alone and devise a program that will provide for their future independence and security, and they need to be free from feelings of obligation to others. People with Neptune in the second house should put getting an education as a high priority in their life, because being well informed reduces the factor of chance in their accomplishments. With a good education or specialized training, they are then in a position to demand as much for their talents as the market will tolerate. It's very important for these people to never form an alliance without legal advice to protect their interests. They want to be able to give a lot to their life partner that they choose, perhaps much more than their partner actually wants for themselves. It's important for these people to remember that they don't have to prove their love by how much they can provide. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.